Where is everyone? Of the hello?
That was a hilarious. Oh, you pulled me. Sorry, I was laughing at you behind the scenes. I was like, "That's a really funny intro to the Leftist Mafia." It just you went on screen, it was all blurry, and then you're like, "Where the hell is everyone?"
Am I all blurry still?
You're a little less blurry. You were
All
really
right, let me.
clear when you were behind. When I was looking at you behind the scenes, then it was
That's
like crystal
weird.
clear.
All right,
Yeah.
give me a second. I'll be right back. 1 second.
Okay. I'll host the Leftist Mafia by myself. It's about time. Hey, everybody in all the chats. I've been waiting for this opportunity, actually. It's the new Leftist Mafia. Just Lance. My goofy ass laugh, my occasionally inappropriate takes. I got Chico too. Chico's look at Chico just staring off into the distance, being like, "What does the future hold? What lies beyond?" He's actually just sleeping.
Hello.
Well,
I think
that's the end.
that should be better, right?
You look great. Clear, crisp. I was watching your show
Beautiful.
yesterday actually, and I thought your
Oh.
camera, if you got a new one or what was going on, looked really nice. I was like, oh
Oh,
damn,
really? Oh,
his production
I.
quality it looks upped.
Oh shit! I don't know what I did. It's the same camera. I don't know. Ooh,
Hmm.
maybe I got a new light. That's why I haven't done anything with it yet. But
Um,
I can do some slight. I have to get a more powerful one. I tried a light bulb thing, and it worked, but I didn't get it power. I didn't get a powerful enough light bulb. Got some. Ooh, a little bit of mood lighting.
oh, that's nice. All right. I always thought you were in front of a green screen because when I was watching yesterday, you had like that digital gray background, and I was like, oh, that looks
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, yeah. I do use a green screen. Sometimes I'm not using a green screen right now. If I shut that off, could play with the lighting a little bit here. Let's see. Let's see what I got. That's not good. Let me put on this light.
Okay.
You can see the slight tint, right? The slight. I gotta get more powerful light.
It's looking
Ooh, that
good.
one works a little bit. That one looks
That
nice.
one's nice. That one's nice. That's good mood lighting.
But I'll just use the regular. So hello.
Welcome to the leftist duo, I guess.
How you doing, everybody? I don't know where everybody is. I know that Mike's not here because he said he wouldn't be here, but nobody else said they wouldn't be here.
I think everyone's just running late. You know, life is stressful.
Mm.
I don't know if you got much sleep last night. I didn't get a ton, so I think
Oh,
there's maybe
I was
that.
doing my stream till late. You saw that.
Yeah, that's well. I didn't watch the full end, but yeah, that's true.
You didn't watch all 3 hours plus of my stream. How dare you? How
I
dare
watched the
you?
first hour. It was a good first hour. I didn't get as far as the call-ins. If you were doing call-ins,
Oh, I did too many call-ins. Like I usually do. I went calling
right?
crazy. But
I have a lot of thoughts.
yeah, it's big busy week, right? I mean, um, yeah. How do we want to start this? I mean, we didn't do the intro because it's just I messed up, I guess, or we decided not to do the intro just to get right into it. I don't remember, but I threw the countdown on.
Let's go with that.
Yeah.
People are saying they
Really?
can't hear you as well. Maybe your mic's slow.
What? What's
I
going
hear you
on? Hold
fine,
on.
but
All right,
if chat says something different than I do.
I mean, wouldn't be the Leftist Mafia wasn't for uh
Technical difficulties.
terrible audio, right?
Mhm.
Is this better?
Uh,
Is that should be
that is
that
better.
should be a little bit
Rebecca's stuck
better.
in traffic, so
It is
Rebecca is
better.
on her way. Stuck in traffic. There's construction.
I mean, I was stuck in traffic getting back from my son's soccer practice, and I'm pretty sure the reason there was so much traffic was because Donald Trump is at Yankee Stadium right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's why I think there was so much traffic. And if I knew about that, we would have skipped today's practice because the traffic was insane.
Wow. I saw Yankee Stadium did a tribute to Mr. Charlie Kirk.
They did. They did. We're getting ahead of ourselves here.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm sure everyone knows what we're going to talk about. But
So, folks,
I've been talking
breaking
about it
news.
for
You haven't heard, yeah.
hours.
Right. So, what's the latest? They got no idea what this guy is, do they? Like, they really dropped the ball here, didn't they? They
You
really
don't have
fucked up,
faith
didn't they?
in Cash Patel, the conspiracy
I mean,
podcaster head of the FBI. You don't think he's got the true grit that it takes to lead?
it doesn't seem like it, being that they don't even have a good picture of this person.
They released new ones. That was the
The
last
new
thing I
ones
saw
don't.
before.
The new ones don't even show his face. They're even worse than the old ones. The old ones
Oh,
the old ones were lesser quality, but were you at least got some sort of facial features out of it, even though it's really bad quality. This one, I don't see his face.
Right. They also, like, we don't know if that is actually the shooter. They just said they have a third person of interest they want to bring in for questioning. That's as far as I understand. Yeah.
Right.
So I assume they think this person is either a suspect or knows the suspect. I think that's what that means, right?
Or they really have no clue and they're grasping at straws here.
Right.
And
the really fucked up thing is that doesn't matter because the narrative has already been set both by the president of the United States and now with that terrible Washington Post. The bullets had trans ideology and Antifa.
That was Wall Street Journal.
Sorry, Wall Street Journal. Yeah, trans ideology and Antifa
where one of the sources was someone who sent something to Steven Crowder.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
And I don't know if you saw that people on 4chan found posts that may have been sourced, as in people were just looking at serial numbers on the back of the bullets, which had the letters TRN, and that was enough for them to think that was trans ideology. Which, if that's true, I mean, that's beyond embarrassing. But the fucked up thing is that it doesn't matter anymore. We live in this post-truth society that if you set the narrative first, which they there's already a Tim Pool video up that says confirmed breaking, the Charlie Kirk shooter was trans Antifa or something like that. And I was like, so they're just running with it. It doesn't matter if there's absolutely no, not only have they not caught the shooter, they don't know the motivation, they don't know the ideology, they don't know the purpose, they don't know if it was a person on the right, the left. I mean, odds statistically, it's probably someone on the right to the far right, just based on.
We just don't know. We have no idea. What we do know is that they don't know, and they're just wildly speculating on something that you definitely should not be wildly speculating about, because
it doesn't matter, right? It's kind of like their philosophy here is that they've already done that. They're already speculating wild. Like the president of the United States made a statement in which he's saying that this was in part due to leftist ideology, calling people the worst names in the world, the N-word, Nazi.
That was quite the speech, right? Where he goes, "We're going to honor Charlie Kirk's commitment to freedom of speech by going after anyone who calls us Nazis."
It's half funny, half scary as fuck, because he's also said that he's going after international people as well. If you've made a joke about Charlie Kirk on social media, they're basically going to be doing Red Scare style. You got to think twice before you try to enter the United States if there's evidence of you having mocked his death in any way, which seems like a massive violation of the First Amendment, right? But it's happening. Every right winger I know, or sorry, go ahead.
They're just bored. They don't know what to do. The policing of people online is all people can do. Who gives a shit if someone made a joke? No one cares. Give me a break. You every single politician who's come out and said something, fucking Clay Higgins over here saying how he's going to go after every single person he saw, a Republican congressman saying he's going to go after every single person he's seen that belittled the assassination of Charlie Kirk and ran their mouth with smart-ass hatred. He's going to use his congressional authority to go after them and get them deplatformed off of every platform, and also do what he can to go after business licenses, get people's driver's licenses revoked for posting on social media and not respecting what happened to his liking. This was a guy who was cracking jokes about the attempted murder of Nancy Pelosi's husband on social media. Give me a break. These guys are hypocrites. Hypocrites.
They're hypocrites with power, though, right? That's the scary thing. Like, I don't know if you read that Wired article. There's a website that got set up to basically dox any single person who's made a joke about this or talked about it in a way they don't approve of. And they've already like successfully gotten one person fired. And there was also the person who worked for MSNBC, and that wasn't related to the doxing website, but they basically didn't even say something that I thought was that controversial. They basically reported on Charlie Kirk as being a controversial, some have said, far right agitator, and that was enough. That was yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're just bored. That goes through their whole, like, that defines the modern right wing sort of ideology, that they long for this sort of mythical era where they would be heroes. Like, that's why they talk about everything in such dramatic, like they're drama queens. This is war, civil war. This is war. We're going, and they write like fucking like they talk like what's that joke online? Like they talk like Sephiroth from Final Fantasy VII. Like they long for this fantasy where like they're knights in shining armor having battles against dragons every day, where like they are like fucking in Game of Thrones fighting during the Battle of the Bastards or something. They long for this. They need to be a hero in this like old school
And be
sort of
persecuted.
way. Yes. And like that's and then like what happens when they live in the modern day, where I mean you should be grateful that you're not fucking waking up and going to war every fucking day, but they're not. They long to be heroes in their own mind, and so they do things to cure their boredom, and that's where you get things like them acting like this is some fucking sort of big epic blockbuster movie war, and you have them going out of their way to attack people and stuff like this. They're bored. They're looking for something to do that makes them feel like a hero because they're powerless and they got nothing else to do.
Oh, I disagree with the powerless. I think
No, I'm talking about people online, like the online concern. I'm not talking about like Congress people and stuff.
I think there's real world consequences to having like almost universally all of them calling for violence right now, right? Like from Matt Walsh to Crowder to Elon Musk. I mean, he's one of the most powerful humans on the planet. They're all in one way or another trying to be like, this is the left is coming for you. They're all using these kind of like as close as you can get to inciting violence without legally inciting violence. Like Matt Walsh said, act like we're at war, act accordingly. So did like Miles Chong, who lives in Malaysia, so maybe he's not a good example. But the video, I don't know if you saw the one with Steven Crowder and Megyn Kelly. Steven Crowder's talking to Megyn Kelly, and he's like, 5 years ago, if you had told me that the streets should run with blood, I would have said that's pretty extreme. But now, with everything that just happened, you know what? I don't endorse it, but I understand it and I get it. And then Megyn was like, yeah, right. You're not endorsing it. You're not saying that people should do it, but you'll understand if it happens. And I saw the same commentary come out of Asmongold, coming out of like a number of pundits online. They're all pushing that narrative now, where it's essentially like, hey, if people want to hit the streets and start a civil war, who am I to stop you? I don't want you to. I'm not endorsing that, but if it were to happen, what could I do?
Yeah, I mean, They just need someone to lash out at because they're so angry. And I mean, the fact of the matter is, like, this guy has, who knows where this guy is right now. And the biggest disrespect to Charlie Kirk, quite frankly, is how Trump's FBI, led by Kash Patel, is handling this. Like the idea that they're lashing out at someone for saying something uncouth or a little bit unserious, handling
edgy,
it.
you might say.
Yeah, edgy, being edgy humor. The things that they really want to do themselves, but of course, if they're the butt of the joke, then they don't like it. Yes, but they're lashing out at those people, and who cares? Some idiot on Twitter or Instagram or TikTok making some joke that you don't find funny or you think is disrespectful means nothing to anyone. It doesn't mean anything to Charlie Kirk or his family or you personally at all either. What does it mean to you other than something for you to get mad at? But here you go. You have Trump's FBI, Kash Patel, absolutely dropping the ball and letting this guy escape. They picked up the wrong person more than once, in which Kash Patel went online and pounded his chest, bragging that they got a subject. They got someone, which he should not have done. That's so out of bounds for him to do. Going against even the local law enforcement who came out later and said, we don't have anybody.
Yeah, the local law enforcement were so confused, and I was like, "There's no way," because he's a fool, he's a children's author weirdo, but there's no way that he's tweeting out that we have the suspect in custody as an authoritative statement if that wasn't true. That's just such a bare minimum. You wouldn't do that. That's fucked up, right? Don't do that. That's exactly what happened. They released him, and they're like, he was just a person of interest, turns out, and we're actually looking for the real killer. So
right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's disrespectful if you ask me. They completely cleared out the FBI in that area. I was reading that the head special agent of Utah was literally fired because I think she was a woman of color or something like that. A couple of weeks before this, and they never replaced her. So you have the FBI over there running without a head. You have, apparently they didn't call in the what's that law enforcement group? One second, I saw it.
Our guest is waiting to be pulled in, apparently.
Oh yeah, pull them in, please. Who do we got? Tell the. Oh, I can do it. Tell the I can't even think right now. Tell the audience who's joining us.
Everyone, this is Rachel Gilmore, a journalist from Canada, and one of the featured people in the Wired article that just came out today of people who are being targeted by a online anti-Charlie Kirk doxing. I don't even know if you can call it an organization, but let's just say a website that is trying to keep a catalog. I don't know how to describe it other than they're essentially trying to ruin people's lives, and it feels like get people hurt. But and Rachel, I'm sure you could explain it better or tell us more.
I mean, it's stupid. It's like this massive doxing effort from people who constantly complain about being doxed because someone put their first name on the internet. And they just list all of these people claiming that they're Charlie's murderers. That's what they call the website, Charlie's Murderers. And for some reason... Yeah. And for some reason, I have the honor of being the first result. Some journalist from Canada is the first thing you see with the most tame take. I wasn't even doing any hot, I don't know. It was not even anything funny or particularly interesting. I just said the same thing a million other people said about, this could really further fan the flames and be used as an excuse to retaliate from some people who are already itching for violence on the far right. Literally all I said But because some of Canada's biggest politicians on the conservative side took that and posted it and like made it into this big thing as if I, cheered on the guy's murder, which I absolutely did not. And, would never do, actually. Yeah, I'm
You're
now
the
getting
top
like,
vote. I'm just
sorry.
noticing. I just went to the website because I read the article, but
Yeah,
I never
I'm
actually
the
checked
top
the website
post.
out. You're the top. You're at the very top of the list. It says Rachel Gilmore, Canadian influencer.
And you know what? I have a theory about why that might be, but before I drop my like tinfoil hat on you, the thing that's like, I just feel like it's really stupid of them because of the fact that it's such a timid take. So people come to that website and the first thing they see is like someone obviously not celebrating Charlie's murder. It makes them look dumb. But yeah, no, a friend sent it to me and I thought that she sent me the direct link to like my listing or something on this website. Cause I was like, why the fuck is my name there? Like I'm not important enough in these circles to like be there. And yeah, it blew my mind when I realized that it was first. But my theory about it, the first person who shared the link on Twitter is an account that I actually had just encountered for the first time this week from doing some research for a podcast episode I'm working on about some of the extremist elements in Canada that I've been reporting on. There's some guys who are trying to bring the remigration movement to Canada, which is like a more politically palatable version of the like mass deportations now that the white supremacists are doing. They're like trying to find a way to sneak that rhetoric into mainstream politics through calling it remigration, saying like, we'll just give people some like, perks if they want to move back to their home countries. We'll make it appealing for them. It's a nice thing to do. So like that's that movement. But anyways, like this guy who started this website has been in those Twitter spaces talking with all of these far right wingers that are already full of like Rachel Gilmore derangement syndrome in the Canadian context. Like there's a bunch of like right wingers that are weirdly obsessed with me. It's very creepy and odd. And I think that maybe if he's the first one to post the link, he at least is affiliated with or knows of the people behind this website, because how did he get this link before anyone else, right? So I'm wondering if that's sort of, they already had a hate on for me and that's why they put me first, which is so weird. Like there's more fun targets. I don't know. But at least it hopefully takes the heat off of someone else. I don't know.
Binder, did you see the statement? Because like you said, I don't think this is in any way it's first off, it's not celebrating his death. It's saying like, I don't believe violence is the answer. I'm just, worried what if the right are now going to use this to think of ways to retaliate. And it turned out you were completely right about that. Like Matt, were talking about this before you came on, about how like every single right-wing pundit right now is effectively being like, we're at war, this is war, act accordingly, that kind of stuff. Rather than like, let's take the temperature down and realize what's going on.
Well, yeah, it's because they want to be. We were talking. I mean, the Charlie's murderers thing is the exact perfect example of what I was saying before about how they're drama queens.
Yes,
they are perpetually feeling this is not just about what just happened. This motivates the entire modern right wing, especially right wing men. They feel inadequate. And so they envision this world where they should have been a war hero if they were born in a different time. They would have been a knight in shining armor if they were born during the medieval times. They would have been in the trenches of whatever, Vietnam or whatever, if they were born then. They envision themselves as something much more than what they are. Because in modern society, they don't have to be that, which I think is great that we're not waking up every day, one step away from death's door because we're in war times here or something, or, we got to go fight the other, the foot soldier army waiting outside the barrack doors for us or something.
Barbarian hordes, the Gauls.
Yeah. But they feel so inadequate and bored that they do these things online because it's the closest they could get to feeling that way. And that's why they talk about everything in these fantastical, epic Hollywood summer blockbuster movie ways. It is ridiculous that they're constantly on there going like, "This is war." Like they are, they're the equivalent of like fucking like Revolutionary War reenactors, but doing it online. Like it is.
Yeah, this is what I always say. They're LARPing 100%, which is maybe an insult to LARPers, honestly. Like, yeah, it's really pathetic.
Cool.
Yeah.
But like that drives
real
everything
IRL
they
LARP.
do.
Yeah.
That drives everything they do.
Yeah, totally. I do think that like you're absolutely right about it coming from a place of inadequacy. That's something I always say about I mean, I think there's a lot of different complex things that feed into why people have become radicalized into these ideologies, but like the feeling like just reverting back to defining yourself by the skin that you were born with as some sort of marker of moral superiority, which like obviously that's not necessarily everybody in like the Republican Charlie Kirk sphere. I'm speaking more specifically about like these more extremist elements, but like that to me is such a signifier that you have nothing going for you. Because if the literal only thing that you can lean back on is the privilege that you're clinging to and terrified of losing in society, like what does that say about your ability to make it based off of your skills or intelligence or anything else? Like you're just telling us that this is all you have going for you. And I think that's really pathetic.
I saw that a lot in the incel community when they were coming out post-Trump's election, making statements that went really viral on Twitter too, saying things like, for years, like, you know, you insulted us men, you told us that we were all rapists because of Me Too, and you stole our birthright. And I was like, that last part is so telling, our birthright, and that like
exactly.
you've been indoctrinated online into an ideology that teaches you that you are owed something and someone is taking it from you. And that could be women, that could be non-white people, that could be trans people, whatever the group is that they want to go after, right? That's a really core part of it. And so because of that, we are lashing out in righteous fury and anger, right? And like, you know, all jokes aside, I wish I knew a way to kind of like mass deprogram the tens of thousands of likes those kind of posts get, because who are these hundreds of thousands of people who are that angry, that are that willing to like, you know, like I imagine your last 24 hours have been pretty shit, since between, you know, that website and the ex-leader of the Conservative Party. Binder, if you didn't know this, the ex-leader of the Conservative Party of Canada was the one who put her on blast. His name's Andrew Scheer. He used to be like the Conservative Party leader of the country, who went up against Justin Trudeau in 2 elections ago and lost. But he basically, like, on his social media, he's a public servant. He's got his own social media account. He put her on blast, and that's what basically, like, you know, I'm assuming that's what made you had to lock your account or something to that effect.
Yeah, I had to go private because it was just like getting out of control. Because also like on top of, there was him doing that I think initially put my post on a lot of people's radar. And yeah, basically like from there, sorry, my sister was just texting me info about like the ongoing doxings and stuff happening in the background. So I got distracted by that. Because yeah, that's the thing. Like people are like actively trying to figure out where I live, which is super fun. But basically, yeah, he posted that. And then there were also a bunch of other people like on the right, a bunch of like unnamed account, like women posting L's and stuff that went over to Blue Sky, screenshotted me tweeting that I was freaked out because of the fact that my post was first on this Charlie's Murderers website. And they left out what my post actually was, because I think they knew if people saw it, they would be like, wait, what? Because for the record, because I realized I haven't actually said what my post was, I can read it to you guys really quickly. It's nothing. I said, terrified to think of how far-right fans of Kirk aching for more violence could very well turn this into an even more radicalizing moment. Will they now believe their fears have been proven right and feel they have a right to retaliate regardless of who was actually behind the initial shooting? Like, that was all I said. And that's literally what caused all of this. And like Milo Yiannopoulos was reposting like posts saying that I'm a demonic, I don't know. I don't think it said I was demonic, that particular one, but that is one I've gotten over the last day. But like all kinds, like he was reposting hate about my post. It was very overwhelming. And I've gotten like so many threats. I had to go to the police station this afternoon just to like make a report, but also police don't know what to do with this. So yeah, I'm just really hoping they don't figure out where I live. That's like the main thing. And like I've had to reach out to my family and stuff. Yeah, and I've gotten like sexual violence threats. Like it's like nonstop. It's like literally every couple minutes I get a new DM somewhere. So not even, like probably every minute. Anyway, people need to get a life.
That's fucked. Yeah, but that's terrible. Again, for not like a take in any way, shape, or form where you're like, he got what was coming to him. You know, I'm listening to you know, respect your neck by Wu-Tang Clan or something like that. Like you were just straight up like, this is probably going to have people who are radicalized become more violent, and that's what happened.
Yeah. And honestly, but if anything, it's like kind of a compliment that like they all focused on me that hard, because it tells me they view me as some kind of a threat for some reason, that they're like this dedicated. I mean, I think that it spiraled out of control just because they had picked a target. And so like, you know, part of that was just the right-wing outrage machine that like once they find a main character, they just go with it. But just like specifically within the Canadian political context, I think that the initial attacks coming from these institutional figures who I reported on their transphobia and their dog whistling conspiracy theories and stuff like that, when a lot of other journalists in Canada aren't really touching those issues, I honestly, I'm like, yeah, I'm not surprised that you guys are trying to like smear my name again. Anyway.
All right. Yeah, it does. Really, it does seem like it's just a person
than I am.
No, it does. It does seem like it's just a personal attack on you because they don't like you. Honestly, I mean,
I know.
I'm your posts were completely not offbeat or mean spirited or rude, either way at all. I mean, it was an analysis of the situation and what the discourse online was going to be. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, they immediately proved me right. I was like, oh, people are going to use this to feel like they have a right to retaliate. And then Libs of TikTok is tweeting war in all caps. Like, oh, I don't know.
Elon Musk too, and like, goddamn. Stephen Crowder, Megyn Kelly, Matt Walsh, Ian Miles Strong, all the way from Malaysia. Like,
oh my God.
Yeah, there was a lot of calls to war.
Yeah. How are things in the States? You're surrounded by Canadians on here, Matt. How are you guys like?
Yeah.
Have things gotten weird? Like any weirder?
I'm in New York, so you know, I'm in my liberal elite coastal bubble here.
Yeah.
You know, as much as the right loves to paint New York City as one of the most dangerous places on earth, I literally feel I'm in the safest place on earth, honestly. And I've always felt that as long as I've lived here, which has been my whole life. We you know, they act like there's crime running rampant in New York City, and it's just not the case. There is not gun violence in the way there is elsewhere in New York City. Do people have access to guns in New York City? Sure, there's been shootings. I would say a very large percentage of that, like 80-90%, are people, like the shooting that happened a couple of weeks or months ago that got a lot of attention, are people coming from outside New York, bringing their guns that they got from outside New York and bringing it here. It's just not like I've been other places throughout the United States where people just walking around with guns, and that doesn't make me feel safer. Yeah. Just seeing people carrying giant...
That would creep the fuck out of me. Open
carry. That doesn't make me feel safer.
I saw one guy once in Ottawa. I saw a gun and I was like, what? It freaked me I'm assuming we say fuck on here, right? It's my first time. Okay. I was like about to say it. Just want to make sure, you know, can't cuss here. It freaked me the fuck out is what I was going to say, because like I never see guns here, but I'm glad to hear that New York is hanging in there.
I'm looking at this site just to see who's on there, and this is without a doubt just a site for people to submit individuals they personally know in real life that they have a vendetta against. Like these aren't big figures. These aren't even small online figures. These are complete nobodies.
Yeah.
Like this is just
it's a Kiwi Farm style, but it's Charlie Kirk themed. It looks
it's like someone who these people know in their real life saw their post and was like, I fucking hate this person. You know what? I'm gonna fucking fuck up their shit and submit this post because I'm they're they're the liberal I knew from high school or college, and I hate them now, but I'm still friends with them, so I see their posts on Facebook or Instagram. But I don't agree with their Charlie Kirk take, and I hated them all along, so I'm gonna send it to this site because these are nobodies.
Yeah, or we got in a fight in DMs. There's literal DMs on this website. It's wild. Like
the people, the screenshots of their social media accounts, 312 followers on Instagram, a guy on Facebook with 260 friends. Like that's it.
According
that's honestly the part that like I also really want to highlight is like, honestly, it's these people that I think are probably getting it. Like they're small, non-public figures. I'm used to dealing with this. These guys are probably having their lives fucking ruined right now. And like, there are the people who really need our support.
Someone got fired from their school based on this website. Like Breitbart has a whole article on like Charlie's murderer's website exposes leftists cheering the assassination of Charlie Kirk. And then it's bragging about how libs of TikTok used it to get someone fired from their school based on Facebook posts. Now all the posts have been deleted. But like that's fucked up. That's scary.
We also can we please get institutions to learn to grow a fucking backbone in the face of bad faith outrage campaigns? It's ridiculous. Like people should not be losing. This is the actual cancel culture that exists. It's like people will take your words, spin them in the worst faith possible, and then you'll have literal like international right-wing figureheads like, I don't know, Glinner or some shit will come after you, post about you, get all of their people rounding up and just like circling the wagons. And next thing you know, like you've lost your job before you even know like what's happening, because it's easier for the institution to get rid of you and deal with the PR problem than it is to actually stick up and have your back, because then the whole like swarm it'll cover the entire institution. And that is like, it's such a failure of understanding social media dynamics and the danger that a website like Twitter now poses. I don't know. It's just like there's all these boomers running like these institutions who never bothered to learn how outrage can be gamed online. It's the Gamergate model, and it's ruining people's lives.
I think that's the only reason, though, that you've got places like, first off, the Prime Minister of Canada or people in like the European Parliament debating whether or not they should do an honor, a 1 minute, whatever, solidarity silence for Charlie Kirk of all people, or like, the Premier of Ottawa, like doing statements on it. Like, I think you're only seeing international.
The Yankees had a moment of silence before their game yesterday. Are you
because
kidding
the
me?
outrage is so intense online, because on Twitter right now people are rabidly mad. Like I've seen posts get like 80,000 90,000 likes where they're just like they're trying to kill us, all hail Charlie Kirk, things like that, right? So like if you so much as make a post being like Charlie Kirk wasn't Jesus, just so we're clear, right? I'm pretty sure he wouldn't say that either, right? So just so that could have a whole, like she's saying, swarm, like a huge amount of people, basically go after you, to the point where like all day here in Canada, like conservative accounts were demanding the Prime Minister make a comment on Charlie Kirk. And I was like, it's not going to talk about Charlie Kirk, some right-wing pundit in the US. Like, why would he do that? And he did. He ended up making a statement on Charlie Kirk.
It's so embarrassing.
And then European, like, prime ministers and presidents started making statements on Charlie Kirk. And I was like, why? Like, this is so far removed from your world. Why are you all making statements? Obviously, they're very safe ones. I condemn the violence, as I'm sure everyone does. Political violence is never the answer. Everyone agrees on that, right? But why are you speaking out about that? Like, I would not expect a U.S. politician to say that some Australian pundit died and he was like, that's a tragedy. That would never happen, right? And granted, the U.S. is way bigger in media, and everyone has to basically pay attention to US news or the U.S. comes after you. But still, it seems very bizarre. Did the prime minister here make a comment about that U.S. politician who was murdered a couple months ago? Did anyone in Europe make statements about that? Right, and that seems like a higher scale political violence, like, act of terrorism.
Well, it's an actual it's a politician.
Yeah, an elected official.
It's actually a colleague of yours.
Yeah. This was a media personality, of which, I'm not saying not a big one. Charlie Kirk was famous. He was huge. Turning Point USA was a very, very effective strategy at recruiting younger people into the right and all that kind of stuff. But it's still, it's like world leaders making statements about a pundit seems really new. Something that was, I think, pushed by online outrage. I could be wrong.
Yeah. No. I mean, it's all just like I can't even remember what I've said on this show and what I've said on all the other shows I've been on over these past 2 days, because it's the same. Like I feel like we're just talking the same thing all the time when it comes to these guys. It's just a new thing that sparked their reaction. Like I think of the perfect sort of sentiment I've seen online is these guys are screaming, "This is war," over the killing of one of their favorite influencers, when just a couple of days ago they were also screaming, "This is war," over the Cracker Barrel brand changing their store logo, their restaurant's logo. Like, everything is outrage turned up to 11.
It kind of circles back to the point you made initially too. Sorry, go ahead. Finish your thought.
Yeah. I mean that's it. Like you're and then you combine that with this post-pandemic mindset we have now, where everyone, or a large majority of our society, believes in outright lies and conspiracy theories. Like, there was a point where debunking something actually meant something to people who believed a falsehood. Yeah. I don't feel like that's the case now.
Because they killed the messenger. They did a really great job of poisoning the well. So no one will believe the fact checkers anyway. The word fact checker, the word expert, was intentionally devalued by all of these talking heads. And that means that now you can't say the word expert without people immediately being like, "Ooh, that's a red flag word for me," because they've been listening to too much Alex Jones or whatever,
Right.
But
no, absolutely.
They get corrected in real time. They don't back down. Do you see that clip with Joe Rogan and Matt Walsh where he was like, "I imagine there's got to be 20,000, 40,000, maybe 60,000 sex change operations on teenagers that happened this year." And then Jamie's like, "Just pulled up the numbers. It's under a couple hundred." And he's like, "Oh, wow, that's a huge difference there." And he's like, "Yeah, this is going to be on Media Matters tomorrow, I bet you." But no correction. No, I'm going to change my entire worldview. I've been doing outrage propaganda. I've been vilifying this group of people that actually are not having these tens of thousands of sex change operations, all this kind of stuff. It was just kind of like, "Oh, well, yeah, whatever." And then they move on, right? But he was corrected live in real time, right? On the show, and it didn't matter. The hate matters more, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, there was another insane one just a couple days ago where he's fooled by the Tim Walz AI video, where there's Tim Walz's face is deep faked over.
You should show Rachel that clip. Can you?
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
That one is actually wild. Yeah, that is one of those are you kidding me? It's just kind of I don't know if you both saw J.K. Rowling the other day posted a video where she's like, "This is direct evidence of the radical trans ideology," and it was AI gibberish, and it was so bad. It was one of the early AI versions where they can't even spell words yet, so it's just garbly gook on it. And I was just like, how is she posting this in good faith, not knowing that someone's gonna go 30 seconds into the video and realize it's not English, it's just not in any human language whatsoever? But I guess it doesn't matter.
They've transcended shame. You can't they don't ever feel embarrassment for getting anything wrong. They've learned they can just be no, and just push through it and never feel embarrassment or shame. Yeah,
but that's so bad.
It's really bad. So. Yeah.
I think
All right.
isn't that like part of like one of Machiavelli's books, like The Prince, about shamelessness being weaponized? Like I think they achieved it.
All right, here is that clip of Rogan.
You know what's really fun?
Yeah.
When someone is in that whole race and
Yeah.
running for president
Yeah.
or vice president, and then the race is over and they realize that person was a liability, so they cut them off.
And you never
and
hear
then that
from them.
person
Yeah.
goes wacky, like
Yeah.
Tim Walz.
That's
Did
right.
you see where he had a "fuck Trump" shirt on?
Yeah.
And he's dancing and going down an elevator. Have you seen this video?
I haven't seen. Please play it. I
Oh.
haven't seen it.
Please, Jamie, find
Well,
that
Tim
video.
Walz is.
But this is weird.
That was a big mistake.
Oh, a huge
They
mistake.
should have picked Josh Shapiro from
Yes.
the governor of Pennsylvania.
I think they were worried about the Jewish thing.
Well, of course, it's a big swing state, and it would have been better.
Okay, you go full screen on
Is that
this.
really this
Yes?
him?
It's real. Yes, it is. No, it's real.
No, look, I can tell it's not real.
I love it. It's real.
It's not real.
It's got to be.
It has to
Really
be
not
real.
real.
It has to be real.
Jamie,
Come on, man.
Jamie's
Look
compromised.
at him dancing.
That's, I mean, the
That is so real, Jamie.
by the way, if this was real,
It's
he might have
probably-
won.
It's probably a real person. It might not be Tim Walz. The fuck Trump is AI generated.
no,
on
he
a white
slaps
shirt.
his ass.
I mean, that is hilarious.
Oh, it's definitely him. This is all 100% real, Jamie. You're a plant by the
Jamie's
government.
compromised, and I'm worried about Jamie, and I'm worried about Grok.
Does it say that it's AI?
I mean, yes.
You say it's AI.
No, the video.
Everybody says
The
it.
video I played on top says it's AI generated.
Rep
Oh,
Riley
so
Moore fell for an AI-generated video of Minnesota. I fell for it too, and you know why I fell for it?
Yeah.
Because I believe that he's capable of doing something.
that's
that
Oh, he did the meme.
So
Yes.
fast. So fast.
What is it? Oh, and the reason I fell for this says something about society. Yes.
What does that say about
Oh my
society?
god, that's crazy.
He is a fucking moron. I'm sorry. The
Yeah.
fact- like you fall for that shit, like the most obviously AI generated video in the world. You think that's Tim Walz going down an elevator dancing like the most fabulously
his ass.
gay man I've ever seen dance?
Also, he
Like,
could
give
like
me a
the
break.
wiggle.
The
It
move
was
Yeah.
impressive.
on.
I was like, "There's no way Tim can move like that."
No way. Tim wishes he could move like that. I wish I could move like that.
We all do. Oh my god.
Yeah, the
Unbelievable.
wild thing is Jamie is as close as you get to an editor there, right? Like that there is no editorial team, but he's got what 11, 12, 13 million people watching. That's the same as a news network. He has the reach of a news network, of a national news network, and yet the only person who's his editorial staff is a guy sitting there. He's like, I think it's fake, man. And he's like, it's real. I love it. It's real. It's gotta be real. Play it. Play it. It's real. I love it. Oh, look at that. It's so funny. And he's like, yeah, I don't think it's real though, Joe. It says it's AI generated at the top of the video. Why are we doing this? Like,
But he does this for everything. And you would
Yeah.
think at some point you listen to him for so long, you'd be like, man, I can't trust anything this guy says. I mean, but no, people fucking still just listen and eat it up, and they'll repeat this shit. Oh, you saw the Tim Walz dancing video, and they'll be like, what are you talking about? That's fake. Like, no, they played it on Joe Rogan. Even though Joe Rogan himself at the end goes, oh, I fell for it. That doesn't matter. Once you like you were saying, Rachel, once you poison the well, it's over.
Yeah.
Like today with the Wall Street Journal sharing that there's a trans and Antifa insignia carved into the bullet casings or the magazine or whatever. And they reported that shit.
That
They
was so
reported that shit.
irresponsible.
And that shit
Have they
started
issued
with
retraction?
Steven Crowder. That started with Steven Crowder. And the New York Times came out and said they spoke with their source within the FBI, and they said they have not been able to corroborate that. That could be something that was misheard or misunderstood. They have not seen that. But once you put it out there, that's it. Because once people
100%.
read it, that's it. Like there are people right now. There are people right now who think that bald 60, 70-year-old man who was the first guy arrested at the Steven Crowder thing, who was immediately released, but it was going around while he was, arrested, that this was the guy who did the shooting. Even though it's been put out there that this guy's not even being held by the FBI or the local law enforcement, he was released. there are still people sharing his photo saying this is the guy. Because once you put it out there, there are too many people who read it and then say, case closed, that's it. I don't need to read anything else about it. And they continue to perpetuate that. And then once they believe it so hardcore, it becomes foundational in their mind that when you tell them that's not true, they'll argue with you about it because they believe it. It's crazy.
My dog was really agreeing with you, so I had to mute for a second because she started
That's
barking.
My dog's blacked out.
Oh,
Oh, coiled like a croissant in the corner.
I love it. I love it.
I wish I could sleep that well.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's only gonna get worse. It's only gonna get worse.
All right, so give me both of your expertise then. Who did it? This is clearly ex-military, or I've heard on the internet that apparently it was Mossad. Also, it was Islamic extremists, a trans Antifa super soldier, and I think Groiper is also in the mix.
Clean up your room.
I mean, I don't know. I just don't know. It could literally be anybody. It could be anybody. I mean, I've been saying on every person I've talked to, for on streams or whatever, that there are two things we know for sure, and these are the two things that are the through line for all of these type of events, and that is that. Well, this one is like 95% of these events, a gun was involved. And then the other thing, the second thing, which is pretty much true for every one of these, is that there was a lack of mental health care issue at the very core of what went on here. Because to do something like this, no matter what your ideology is, no matter what your reasoning is, to be able to do something like this, you are mentally unwell and not receiving help for it. Because I want to make it clear too, I'm not talking about people who are, with mental illness, because there are mentally ill people who don't do this either. This is people who have issues and do not address them or get health care for them, or because they can't afford it, they don't have access to it, whatever.
Yeah, don't have access to it. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I mean, these are the two things that are always the case. Always the case.
And it's so damning that those two things, it's always the reason why, and they're never dealt with. It's like, it's just wild. And I don't know. I mean, we don't have mental health care coverage in Canada either necessarily. Like, you can maybe get it if you get like, it's not really part of like exactly. But I don't know, the state of the healthcare system for you guys scares me. Like, even just visiting down there, I can't imagine what it's like living under. And then the guns everywhere. Like, it's no surprise that this happens all the time. It happened multiple times that same day.
Right.
Like,
right. And
wild.
I should say that it's looking like the shooter in that school in Denver is one of those people who is one of those online accelerationist neo-Nazis who completely idolized other school shooters. That's what I'm seeing so far. It looks like police are looking into whether this individual was a 16-year-old shooter, was part of a larger extremist network. This is the same thing that happened to, we heard for a few of these recent school shootings, where they were carried out by young individuals who idolized mass shooters and shared accelerationist, neo-Nazi, I hate everybody, I want to kill, rhetoric. And that's what it seems like happened in Denver, Colorado. But we're not talking about that one because, the Charlie Kirk shooting, obviously,
the kids didn't have
is
podcasts.
the bigger story. Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
I mean,
No, it's Well, and I mean, that's the thing is like what ends up leading the news and what we all talk about is stuff that doesn't happen every single day. So like that's the crazy thing is I think that a lot of society becomes desensitized to school shootings. Like that used to be, I feel like a multi-day international news story, and now I feel like they happen and they barely make a blip unless they're like exceedingly more gruesome or violent, or there's something, you know, it's a younger school or there's a higher kill count. It's just like it's really abhorrent that like it's like the newsworthiness standards change based on how often something happens, and that shouldn't necessarily be the way that media like approaches what they choose to talk about and how they talk about it, but it is. So I don't know.
Yeah, that other school shooting that took place that day turned out to be yet another far right radicalized individual who was going into like Holocaust denial forums and stuff like that. And once again, there seems to be kind of consistent through lines with school mass shootings of that nature, is that they're inspired by other mass shooters. There oftentimes overlaps between misogyny, incel communities, or white supremacist communities, and the radicalization that happens from that. But yeah.
I mean, they don't like, like I was saying right before you joined us, Rachel, like the outrage over people saying things just online that they find to be that hurts their feelings, that they demean about the situation, that in the big picture are completely meaningless. They don't do anything to anybody. Yet nothing from these same people about the most disrespectful thing to Charlie Kirk, the way Kash Patel and Trump's FBI are handling this, to the point where his killer is still out there. And quite frankly, based on the information they're putting out there, they have no fucking clue.
Yeah,
they are
100%.
completely in the dark. How they messed this up, how they blew this, how this guy even got off the campus is unbelievable.
Yeah. And isn't it a thing as well? Like I only saw bits and pieces because I don't know, I've been kind of on and offline today, but like I was seeing people say that the main sort of longstanding FBI guy for that area was fired in some of the politically motivated FBI like cleanouts. I'd have to double check this, but I feel like I was seeing it from some pretty reliable sources that like there was some guy who probably would have been handling this who was no longer there, and who was like, that's why the public service, like these sort of institutions aren't supposed to have politically motivated hiring and firing, because you want to have people who have longstanding institutional knowledge, who have been in these like roles for a long time, because they can actually handle shit like this. Right. And so what I was seeing is that person was fired. I think Majority Report talked about it, so I feel like I'm not talking out of my ass here.
No, you are. They fired the head, the special agent, like lead or head or something.
Yeah, exactly.
And they never replaced. I think it was a person of color. It might have been a woman too. And they had to fire everyone who they feel like was hired for DEI or whatever. I guess that was probably why that person got released.
Yeah,
but they didn't replace him.
Sorry, I can't handle the fact that Dan Bongino is like, you talk about people. I can't believe he works for your FBI. It blows my mind. Like,
and Kash Patel. I mean, like it's really clear now in hindsight, seeing that like Trump was basically going to be covering up all the Epstein shit, being the guiltiest man that ever lived, that you'd want to hire the two biggest podcast conspiracists who talked about the Epstein files. Like, why not? Why not hire them, appoint them to be at the senior positions of the FBI, and then have them cover up the entire thing? I mean, it writes itself. But now that they actually need to be competent in order to actually, discover who this person was, catch them, make sure they can't harm other people. Now it's just like, yeah, it's a clown show.
Do you think they would have met the moment if they were still at the helm of their podcast empires?
I think if they were working in there, they'd be like most other right-wing pundits who have made Epstein their entire personality. They'd still be talking about it. Like there are people like, you know, Ian Carroll's that his name, and other people who are, you know, right-wingers who care just a lot about the Epstein files, who are basically like, this looks bad, you know, like I can't deny, or, you know, I mean, Charlie Kirk was one of those people. Charlie Kirk was one of the people who was still saying like they're, you know, they should release the Epstein files. They're going to, don't worry. But, you know, it seems pretty weird that they haven't released the Epstein files yet. Now it's gotten to a point where, like, I mean, just a couple days ago, that was really big news. The leaked letter, the Trump love letter, the disgusting fucking weird ass poem, that turned out to be real. And I was like, well, this is bad, right? Because so many of them spend so much time being like, not only is that letter not real, it's so gross that it can't be true. So we deny it. we deny it outright. And I was like, okay. But I'm pretty sure it's real. Just knowing what I know about journalism from someone like Binder, for example, like there's legal teams, there's people who look over this, there's editors, there's no way. I mean, you know, you would know as well, right? Like there's no way an esteemed publication is running the risk of a lawsuit by saying we just made up a fucking, you know, something of this, you know, a bombshell like this. And so I was like, it has to be real. But maybe it'll never see the light of day because the sources will protect them, and that'll be that, and they'll choose not to believe it. I didn't think the estate was gonna release everything and just dump every love letter from Bill Clinton to Dershowitz to goddamn Trump. You know, pretty wild shit.
Yeah. It's, you know, one of the things that I keep seeing is how like the right thinks they're going to turn Charlie Kirk into like a Martin Luther King Jr. Have you seen that? Yeah, they think they're gonna make him their MLK or something like that. And listen, but what I want to discuss there is like we today, like people like today, the way the news cycle goes and people's attention, like this story is already the guy isn't even caught, and this story is already falling off the front pages, honestly. Like we just don't have the capacity anymore to focus on these things and turn things into like events that we actually like remember, or like think about the Trump shooting where he got grazed in the ear because he turned at the right time. Like that was a non-factor within days.
Yeah.
This, because the shooter's not caught, is probably going to hold on for a little bit longer. But you know, we just don't. These events don't have the same sort of. Maybe it was just when I was younger, and like when you're younger, things seem like a bigger deal. Like when I was a kid, but I feel like back when I was younger, you know, when major events happened, or when someone of notoriety was, you know, died or something like that, like it was like a news story for a long time. And even like people even would refer back to it. But like now people just move on from shit. Like it's one shooting after another, one horrible thing after another, one natural disaster after another. And people just, in one ear out the other, next day in new news cycle. No one even, like, even when someone, a celebrity or someone of notoriety dies now, it's like within hours something replaces that their death was a story that day.
Yes, because the news cycle isn't you get your paper in the morning and that's how you learn, or you watch the news at night on TV. It's every minute is a potential news story online, right? At any given time. Like you could make a story happen right now, Binder, by tweeting on your account if you just put a falsehood out there. If you wanted to right now, if you were twisted or crooked, you could actually make a news story happen right now. If you in all caps put breaking and then added whatever you wanted and an AI photo of something, that would suddenly become news until someone debunked it or were like, oh, he's live right now. Lance is goading him into this, right? But like, you know, that's what can happen.
I made my Twitter account private today. And one of our far-right news outlets reached out to me and said, hey, we're doing a story on the fact that you made your Twitter private. Can you please send us a comment? I don't know. They'll write about fucking anything.
Did Did you know?
They don't
comment,
have.
or-
They're bored.
Yeah, I didn't
They're-
answer. I was like, why am I?
they're-
Why would I?
They're
It was Western
bored.
Standard. Yeah.
Oh well, that also makes sense. But they're bored too over there as well, obviously. But yeah, I mean they don't do any reporting. Everything is culture war stuff to them. Everything is bottom of the barrel. The right wing as a whole, like think about like what they write about. To them, their big story, like you said, is you put your Twitter account private. That doesn't matter. Like I've been totally like for the past like year and a half, I've been not as online, not as plugged in as I've been for the past 15 years when I started doing this stuff. Because it always was treading this way, but we've gone full bore, like policy doesn't matter. Even electoral politics doesn't matter as much as the meaningless culture war bullshit drivel. The online feuds, the drama, the rage over movies and actors cast in movies and video games not having the female characters with big enough boobs, and like this is not
That's a real
politics.
problem, Matt.
This is not politics, but the modern political analyst or reporter or social media person or influencer or whatever content creator, this is what they deem as politics because it's good ratings. It gets lots of views. So this has become what in 2025, what political reporting, what political journalism, what political analysis, even what political punditry with talking heads, that's what it's now about. And like, I just don't find this stuff interesting enough to even like partake in it, let alone like my personal feelings about how stupid it is. Like, it's just, I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like this is kind of the entertainmentification of journalism and like clickbaitification has just, I was just reflecting on while you were talking there, how there were these moments in my career because so for the longest time, I worked for CTV News and Global News in Canada. So I was like a mainstream politics journalist on Parliament Hill in Canada. And like, I remember when I was being taught how to do TV hits, I was told, oh, sometimes like bring a prop. People love it when like you pull out a dossier or like documents. Like it's just, and that was the emphasis rather than like, here's how you most effectively communicate information to and I guess you could argue like, oh, maybe the props are part of communicating important information well, but it really was like about how entertaining you could be. Like,
right. And listen, I don't have a problem with reporting in an entertaining way, presenting in an
you have
entertaining
to.
way. Yeah, even covering stories that are, worthwhile covering, but they're more entertaining, but there's still something there. Like, on the Majority Report, we cover right-wing punditry. We do a lot of right-wing clips where we think it's important because obviously we are debunking or criticizing or rebutting the point they're making. But along with that, they're also really funny to watch because they're really bad sometimes. So it's a combination of the two, and that's what catches people's attention. What I'm talking about, though, is not about being entertaining, covering this as entertainment, period.
Yeah.
Like, it's just
no substance underlying it. You're not
Right,
packaging real information into entertaining. And that's sort of like what I was getting at there is like the focus almost is too much on entertainment, and it's easy to lose sight of how important it is to have the substance underneath it, because that's that's the part that you can't lose, and that's the part that's getting lost.
I mean, the perfect example, you mentioned the props with the dossier. The first thing I thought of was the fucking Epstein files with libs of TikTok and all those other right-wing influencers who were invited to the White House. Funny enough, that didn't work out for them. I know you said sometimes it works. Did not work out for them. That stuff will be haunting them for the rest of their lives. But, I mean, it is absolutely ludicrous. And listen, if they did that to be entertaining, to draw people into this big old reporting or newsworthy thing they were about to do, fine. But it was all that showmanship for what? Nothing at all.
But Fox News has taught people you don't have to have substance under the showmanship, as you were just saying. So it's like, I don't know. It's like we're in not only a post-truth society, but a post-substance society, if that makes sense. And I don't mean that to be like, you know, like I love watching Real Housewives and like having bullshit entertainment as much as the next person. You need that to like stay sane in this world. And like, but it's just the places where they're supposed to be having those substantive educational, like where we're supposed to be able to go to inform ourselves, have lost that plot and are just concerned about ratings and selling, you know, ad revenue, getting clicks to be able to like get as high of a price on that ad revenue as possible. And it's scary. And like a lot of that actually comes back to the big tech monopolies. And like I could go off on a big rant about that, but I won't because it's really boring. But you know, just like
I don't find that boring. I mean, it's
I was like, that's Binder's bread and butter.
really.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Well, I was just gonna say because I worked for Check My Ads for a little while. It's a U.S. nonprofit that like was trying to get transparency.
I know them, yeah.
You know them? Okay, cool.
I interviewed one of the founders on my podcast a while ago.
Oh yeah, was it Nandini or Claire?
What were their names again? I'm sorry.
Nandini or Claire?
It was her.
Nandini?
Yeah.
No, she's cool. She's very fun. But no, it's just like the way that the ad tech industry works. If you actually like dig into it, it explains so much of why journalism is so broken nowadays. And it's like kind of become something I'm a bit of a freak about because it blew my mind when I learned this. And I haven't had to explain this in a really long time, so I hope I don't fuck it up. But basically, and I also only slept for like 4 hours last night because of all the death threats. So wish me luck. But basically the way that the ad tech industry works now is like the people who are selling ads, and like Matt, you might already know this, so sorry if it's boring for you, but for the audience,
it's not. Go ahead.
The way like the person who the advertiser doesn't know where their ad is going to end up because Google is the middleman usually, and then there's like another middleman and another middleman, and there's all these degrees of separation, and it's incredibly opaque and really hard to actually follow that trail. Like they did studies of the programmatic advertising pathway, which is like these automated ads. So like when you click on a website and the ad that loads in 2 seconds that like knows that you were talking about like what you wanted, a Jeep Cherokee or something, or like a Bronco, I don't know, and it just like pops up. That is programmatic advertising. And that like it happens so fast and goes through so many layers that what happens is because brands don't know where their ads are going to end up and the websites don't necessarily know what ads are going to land on them, there's this whole cottage industry that's popped up called a brand safety industry that is this hammer being used that like they'll just say, hey, we don't want our ads to show up on websites that make people feel bad or that have the word abortion or whatever, because they don't know where their ads are ending up or like headed in the first place. And that ends up defunding the news. But then the flip side of that is there's actually techniques that can be used behind the scenes. Like you can be sharing IDs on the back end between different websites to hide the fact that like a website that's got disinformation slop on it is like where this ad money is actually going to go. But they can put up a front website. Like there was one that we found that was literally like a Canadian tourism website that was tied to some far right like disinfo websites that wouldn't be getting ad revenue if those advertisers knew that their ads were going to go there. But there was this other website that like shared the same ID that was brand safe. And so they were able to like launder it. But the problem is that actual news outlets can't do that because it's unethical. And so they get fucked by the brand safety technology. And then these grifter shitty websites are the ones that actually profit. And it's fucked. And no one wants to do anything because it's cheaper for Google not to do anything. And they have a monopoly. So where the hell else are all these advertisers going to go? So all that to say, break up the monopolies.
Absolutely.
That sounds similar to what
No, it did.
With the raw economy, right? I don't know if you guys listened or interview Ed Zitron at all. He talks about that a lot, about how basically the advertising funnel effectively is destroying the internet itself because of the prioritization that Google, Apple stores, all these other companies are doing on simply basically highlighting what they think is going to generate and flow the most people to the most amount of possible ad revenue, which, I mean, makes sense.
Well, and now they're
Capitalism.
also like doing AI, lifting stuff from websites so that you never actually have to click on those websites. So it's like they're taking out even that part of
I've
it.
noticed that.
Yeah.
I've noticed that. Yeah.
I was gonna post this yesterday because I forgot to. I forgot to post it yesterday because of what happened. But yesterday was my daughter's she turned 3 months, and so
Oh.
just for the hell of it, I was like, oh, let's see what the Google's AI overview says. So I Googled daughter born, June 10th, 2025. How old today? And it said, "Oh, you are 1 year and 3 months old." And I was like, "Oh wow, a year passed by really quick." It was completely wrong.
Oh my
Completely wrong.
God.
A year and 3 months.
And there's
Is it,
so many people
ChatGPT
living
5?
their lives on AI. It's so scary. Do they
Yeah,
just
that
think
part's
they're all a
weird.
year older? These people are
Yeah.
walking around lying about their age to everyone.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just like everything is bad. Everything. There's nothing. There's no like light at the end of the tunnel. There's nothing good going on right now. Honestly, I mean, it's bad everywhere. It's bad everywhere. I don't know where it ends up. I don't know where it resets, if it does reset. I mean, it's gotta something's gotta change at some point. It can't keep going in this direction without a complete collapse. I mean, maybe that's where we're headed. Who knows?
Yeah, 35% of the entire U.S. stock market is propped up on tech, and the AI bubble is supposed to be the biggest one to pop. And you're already starting to see the cracks in it. So giddy up.
So excited
That'll
Canada
be-
just got an AI minister and a
I saw
Starmer-fied
that.
PM.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It is fantastic how like all of these governments just eat this eat this slop up. I could say eat this shit up too. They just with
up.
everything, every new tech trend. You think at some point they'd be like, all right, this is like the fucking fifth next big thing that didn't fucking work out. What are we doing here? Believe in these guys. But no, they continue to just eat this shit up and act like this is going to be what the economy is run on. We're already seeing, and Ed Zitron has written about this too, we're already seeing these companies, some of these companies and some of these investments go take a nosedive because people are not using AI as much as everyone thought they would at this point, at least, because AI, quite frankly, does not do what it was sold as doing. Like, yeah, there are some industries, like I understand that I hear a lot of developers, programmers say it helps them like be more productive. Okay, they found an industry that AI helps. The entire economy can't run on a product that just helps programmers and developers be more productive. There are lots of things to be done in this world, in various economies, in various different markets, in various different industries that don't require that. What are like? But they're putting everything into this. It's ridiculous.
AI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Sorry,
we
I got a
can
phone
make
call and
cool
everything
little
muted.
images of SpongeBob doing 9/11. So,
What
Yeah.
it's
happened?
worth it. I'm just saying AI, you make fun of it, but we can make SpongeBob do 9/11 now.
Right.
You can
Right.
generate
Doesn't
that.
it make you feel like a god that you can personally melt an entire iceberg just to create an image of SpongeBob during 9/11?
I think the AI artist thing is such like a crock of shit. Like you're not doing anything. There's no artistry there. You're not doing shit. Like
Do they call themselves artists? People
AI
who use
They
artists.
do. And
Yes,
there's courses
yes.
you can take now on prompts. There's AI prompting courses. So learn how to do the proper prompts to get the best art.
Well, the worst shit I've seen is so like there's all these different like this has been a thing that's been online for a while now, but like Photoshop request groups, like they're on Reddit, they're on Facebook, they're every platform that lets you create a community. There's a Photoshop request group, at least one on there. And if you go in there, it used to be like, oh, my this is the only photo I have of my grandma and grandpa together. And it's, it was in a box and it was disintegrating. Can someone clean this up and help me? And it used to be like these amazing Photoshop whizzes able to work their magic, actually doing what needs to be done using talent to restore these photos, like meticulously going pixel by pixel and cleaning things up. Now you go in there and it's fucking some idiot taking the image, running it through an AI system, acting like they did something, and posting it in there all proud. And it's an AI generated image that completely changed how the guy's grandma and grandpa even look. It's not even the grandma and grandpa.
Oh my God. It's like the yassified grandparents with 7 fingers.
And what you and the comments under it are insane. You have half the people going like, this looks nothing like them. What did you do? And you have the other half going like, oh, this is amazing. You're so talented. How did you do this? It's like, what is wrong with people? I actually think
do they have
I've said that.
like 14 fingers, and do they dance? And is it like those weird ones
It's
live
even,
the photos and all that disturbing stuff?
It's even worse than that. Like, I wish it was so over the top, but instead it's like just facial features, like just changed entirely. So like it doesn't look like them, but like the overall composition of the photo looks like the same. So people are just too stupid to realize that the face is completely changed. I don't understand how people are like, oh, this is wonderful. How did you do this? It's amazing. You're so talented. And it's like, you just changed how this person's grandma and grandpa look in the one photo. And like, I've actually made the argument, I would love for there to be studies on this, how like this shit over time is going to like warp people's memories of like how their like loved ones looked. And like what they sounded like. Like there's people who like create AI generated voice of like people who passed away so they could hear them still. But like it's never exactly accurate. It's never good. You're always going to have like words and tones and like emotions that you don't have on audio for the AI to learn off of. So it just makes up shit. And that shit's not going to sound like your loved one, but you're going to hear that voice over and over again, and more time's going to pass, and you're not going to know what your actual loved one sounded like anymore, because that's what happens when time moves on. But you're hearing this other voice that is supposedly supposed to be your loved one, and you're just not going to remember how the person actually sounded anymore, or how the person actually looked anymore. It's that shit is like,
that's so sad. That's like Black Mirror shit right there. Oh my God.
Yeah. It's like seance people. That's how evil that is. Like the people who used to be able to tell you will talk to your dead relatives. They're selling you a digital version of that, because it's like you're talking to an algorithm. You're talking to ones and zeros. You're not talking to your dead aunt, right? But even if it sounds enough for and people will believe it. Like if you talk to an AI chatbot or whatever, the voice ones can be convincing enough that if it sounds like your aunt, you're going to be like, oh my God, it's like she's alive. But I'm like, that's fucked up.
It's playing with people's emotions. People are
these people falling in love with them.
Yeah,
like
that too. Yeah, people who are proposing to them, and shockingly, a lot of women. Because like when we were talking about this maybe like months ago, all of us were like, it's gonna be all lonely guys who are just gooning over the anime waifus and all that. And like every story on Reddit is women. It's like,
you know what? It's because it's fucking the bar is in hell out there. Okay,
honestly, that's
actually
that's probably the case.
That's because men are doing such a poor job.
I mean, it makes sense. I get it. I mean,
oh God.
Yeah.
I just don't like. But the thing is, like, I would understand if, like, when we talk about AI, we're talking about artificial intelligence in the way like sci-fi movies had us believe that this shit was going to be eventually, where like it's actually like a thinking machine. It's a machine, like it's not human, so it doesn't maybe not have human emotions, but it could reason, it could think. It's not just regurgitating what the user wants to hear, but in human-like paragraphs and sentences and words.
Super
validating.
And stuff.
Yes, but like, I mean, like that's the thing. Like that's why the underlying technology behind AI, it's not called artificial intelligence. It's called a large language model. It's LLM. Yeah. Like it's simply all this shit put together for the AI to give the user exactly what they want in a way that makes it sound like they're talking to an individual. That's all it is. And you see how easy it is for the AI to just tweak the original point it was giving the user based on what the user says, so it just makes the user happy. You see it all the time where a user will ask for something, the AI will give the person something pretty close, and they'll be like, no, it's like what's 2 + 2, and the robot will say 4, and the person will be like, no, it's I really want it to be 5, and the large language model will reply, you know what, you're totally right, honey, I was wrong. It is 5.
Validating.
Yeah,
I think that's intentional, or that's to be addictive, right? That's why so many people are falling in love with them, because humans aren't like that. Like, even in relationships, like, we're all in relationships, right? Like, your partner is not always going to be like, you're so smart, that's such a good idea, I'm so happy to hear that from you. Like, that's just not how humans speak to each other. But like,
yours
if you
don't
have
do
something
that?
always
Mine always. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry. Yeah.
But it's like,
this is him right here. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, sorry, dumb joke.
It's to keep you addicted, because obviously that's nice for a little while. You're like, oh, I do feel smart. You're right. Thank you.
Well, did you watch that South Park episode where like Randy? Yeah,
that was pretty perfect.
I heard they took down their Charlie Kirk episode.
It's still up on the streaming service. They took down one of the re-airings on Comedy Central. Like, they rescheduled, like they put a different episode in its place.
And they're gonna edit out that line where he says, "What are you gonna do? Shoot me?" Right? I heard.
Oh, does he?
Wait, they say that?
That's in the episode.
Really?
I don't know if that's just a meme floating around, but a lot of people posted a picture of the little cartoon.
I don't think that's. I think that might be a thing. Someone, yeah. I don't. I mean, that would have been, that would be. You know how they, they do the whole Simpsons called it or whatever. Yeah, I think that would. It's not in the. I don't think it's in the episode. I haven't seen the episode, but my take was that people were editing that. That was like a meme.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to
should we read some super chats? Yeah, we get to the super chats.
Oh, hey, before we start that, Rachel, you're welcome to stay for super chats if you want. We just read out the super chats and respond to them. And some people who are guests like to take off because they've had enough, and other people are like, I'll stay. So it's totally up to you. But before you make a choice, why don't you plug everything about yourself and that where people can find you, etc.
Well, I mean, I kind of want like less people to find me right now, but just kidding. I feel like the people watching this probably are very cool. So I have a link tree in my bio. So if you find any of my socials, you can find me everywhere else. But I'm on Substack, Patreon, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, everywhere. My Substack is just rachelgilmore.substack.com, but it's Bubble Pop Media. I have a podcast, Bubble Pop with Rachel Gilmore. I'm big on TikTok. That's kind of my main spot, but it's also one where I make no money. So if you'd rather subscribe to my YouTube, just look up Rachel Gilmore. You'll find one of my things and find my link tree. Thank you.
TikTok doesn't change Canada.
Yeah, TikTok doesn't pay me a cent here. I'm doing it for the love of the game, the love of the death threats.
Yeah, I mean, it's thank you for joining us, though, Rachel. Are you gonna stick around? You could totally leave if you want. But
I might stay for like maybe I'll stay until 10:30 my time, just because I have to do a French language TV interview tomorrow morning at like 8 a.m. So I have to make sure I'm not totally dead or I will not be able to speak. So because my French is not great.
I was going to say, do you speak French?
I do speak French. It's just like I'm an Anglophone. Like, si je parle français, ça va être, je vais chercher les mots. Like, I'm going to like be looking for words. I'm going to be like slow, but I can get by enough that I get invited on French TV sometimes.
Hey, it was convincing enough for me. I don't understand
a
lick of French.
I live in Quebec, so
There we go. I assumed when you said you were going on French language TV, I was like,
yeah.
It's
mostly.
Or I should have said,
Quebec.
hey.
Sorry, what was that? Yeah, totally. Yeah. Anyways, thank you so much for having me on, though, guys. Do you know what?
This was great.
Actually, yeah, maybe I should jet actually, because I'm just thinking about it and I really should go to bed. But this was really great. And if you ever need someone to fill a slot, I had a really fun time. So I'm always around.
you should come on more. This was great. I had fun.
Me too. I had a great time.
Had fun talking about the worst things in the world, but it was fun.
I know. It was like really depressing. But we got through it.
We did. All right. Have a great night, Rachel. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, guys. Enjoy the super chats. Thanks for having me.
All right. I'm hearing.
I don't have a lot, Matt. Do you want me to run through them?
Do you hear an echo? Do you hear an echo?
I don't hear an echo.
People in the chat hear the echo. Yeah. It might be your thing. It's usually your thing. What is the echo?
I didn't change anything. I was a good
I know
boy.
that's weird. I know it just started now.
All right. Is it better now? Do you still hear an echo?
Yes, it is. What did you do? Oh no, I hear an echo now. I hear an echo now.
Oh god. It's all falling apart. At least it happened at the end of the show. That's good.
I'm echoing. They said. Wonder why.
Oh, okay.
That would start. All right, I'll leave and come back. Be right back. Be right
All
back.
right. You can do that and I'll start reading my super chats. That'll be easy.
Sounds good.
Thank you very much to Abscondage for the $5. Meanwhile, the New York Times libs are self-flagellating over how we've allowed the temperature to rise too much. The solution is
Did that fix it?
Just
Did that fix it?
Drilling.
No.
I never had a problem. If it's on your end, I don't hear you echoing.
I don't get it.
It's not echoing in my feed either. People in my chat are saying it sounds fine. But
All right, I'm gonna
I'm
just shut down this shit. And I'll go back.
Okay. Whoa. Reikerine, thank you for the $5. Not saying he's conspiracy pilled, but Paul Kalinsky spent an hour on how this is a professional hit, and a lot of it seems like plain incompetence. I mean, if you're just having fun, I guess, and being like, I'm going to speculate wildly on what I think is potentially the cause of or the shooting or whatever, then maybe just as long as you're honest about it. Hello.
Why is there an echo? This is so weird. It just started.
Yeah, I don't hear any echo at all. Sounds great.
I don't get it.
I'm looking at your chat. They seem to like it. Everyone's like, I like it. Sounds like he's multiplying.
I'm gonna try changing my input. Let's see. Does this do anything? No. Why is this happening? I really don't know.
Maybe it's the output. That could maybe be it. Are you feeding your input to your output?
I don't think so.
Yeah, that is strange how it just started.
I got no clue. All right, let me try one more thing.
Sure. And finally, Anime Fox, thank you for the $2. DC Comics is still run by cowards, by the way. In relation to what? I'm not really up on my comic book lore. I haven't read comic books in a long time, except for, as you can see above me, One Piece, as I did promise, because I said that because One Piece was about to beat J.K. Rowling in the best-selling comics, I started reading it, and it's been a great adventure. Did it fix it?
No, I could tell right now it's still there. Don't know why.
What about
Ivan just turned on.
Whoa. That was real loud.
Yeah, I don't get why. I'm gonna switch the mic, I guess. Let's try that.
All right.
Do you hear me?
Do you hear me?
I can.
Oh my
You sound
God.
robotic.
Oh my God. I get it. How did this
Oh,
happen?
now I hear an
How
echo,
did this
though.
happen?
Yeah, this is terrible.
Lance, can you try resetting? Just leave
Yeah,
and
sure.
come back in.
I will leave. Just make sure you let me back in, okay?
Of course.
Scary
Of
out
course.
there in these mean streets.
Check. I'm not echoing anymore. It was Lance. I'm not echoing anymore. It wasn't me. Right? You guys hear me, right? There's no echo. Yeah, it was Lance. Unbelievable. Guess we'll just wait for him. Because I have no idea where we are in the. I guess they're all for me, right?
I guess Binder will let me back in. Can you hear me? Am I echoing?
The echo went away when you left. It's back. I'm back.
Or now it's back?
Yeah.
Ah.
You're feeding something through. I think.
All right. I'm turning off echo cancellation. Now, am I still echoing?
You're not
Probably.
echoing at all. You're feeding my voice back through the sound StreamYard.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me now?
I could hear you. Yeah. And I
But,
still hear
you're
my
echoing now.
echo. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They think it's because Rachel's still live. Can you DM her? But she's
She's not in here.
No,
She's not in here.
Yeah, she's not in here. This is a problem between me and Matt. All right, you know what? Maybe I'll just disconnect because I only have one more super chat to read, so I could just disconnect and write into you, and then you could read them because I don't know what it is. I'm disconnected.
Yeah.
All right. Bye, friend. I love you. I'll see you next week.
Thank you for joining me, Lance. I'm glad we did this show. I thought it was a good show. Good show.
It was a good show. To everyone wondering, Rebecca got caught in traffic, and Ariana is on a train to see her mom, and she also got stuck. So otherwise, I think everyone will be back next week, ideally. So, yeah. All right, bye, friend.
Well, he just up and left right away, just leaving me with all you guys. Well, hello everybody. We still got a good amount of super chats. I'm not gonna check out which ones are just for me because it's just me in here. I'm gonna read all the super chats, and that's what we'll do. Okay. It doesn't matter if it's for me or someone else. It could be in Mike's feed. It could be in I don't know who else is, but I'm just gonna read whatever's here in the StreamYard super chat section. Rimuru Tempest the Slime Dragon gifted 1 Humanist Report membership. Thank you. Appreciate that for Mike. Tropical Ding Dong says, "Oh no, I forgot. I don't know what Tropical Ding Dong is referring to." Otaku Dragon says, "Repub kills fisherman last week, yet left is violent." Oh, you're talking about the I don't know what you're referring to. Quinto Clone do Exando or Zando says, "Here to say we judged Bolsonaro guilty to 27 years. I saw." That's how you do what you do in a functioning democracy, in a functioning government, in a functioning country. Yeah. Quite honestly, that's yeah. Cosmere Dragon with a super chat. No intro. I'm guessing the intro will be modified. I love the badass AI clips, but seems the cinematic clips of brutal gun violence may be in bad taste. I mean, it is what it is. We're still going to use it. I mean, entertainment is entertainment, and that's just an intro to be funny and have it be entertainment. I'm not someone who believes that movies and TV shows and video games have anything to do with that. We just didn't use it today. I mean, we cover shootings all the time and use it. It was just me. I was like, let's just get started. Lizzie Bennett with a super chat. In memory of Charlie Kirk, I've been playing Protect Janek by Wu-Tang Clan on repeat when I work. Tyler Hackner with a member for 32 months super chat. Tokyo Hans says, this is nice and all, but don't forget to remind Orange Man about certain files. Right. I don't believe this is a distraction from the Epstein files, like conspiracy theorists think. But that should be something that remains and should not be forgotten about until it's properly addressed and dealt with. JJ Sayin says USA is collapsing. The Eduardo says 36 hours later, they aren't talking about anything in those billionaires' drawings. Are they? Good timing for them, eh? Well, I just addressed, I don't think this is like the plan. This was just how things happened. Tokyo Hans gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much. Jordan Rakusan Burge with a super chat. America began going down this spiral a long time ago. If it wasn't Charlie Kirk, they would have inevitably found another excuse to keep pushing their hatred. Yeah. Nalerno with a super chat. Thank you. Just handed the super chat over. Whoa, Nick gifted 10 memberships on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much, Nick. Tokyo Hans with a super chat. Rachel is in Canada, so I'll explain her situation in Binderite terms. Binder reports on how the effects of sudden Bitcoin crash negatively affects right-wing investors. Paul Ryan posts about Binder and MAGA try to dox him. Oh, okay. That makes sense now. Chris Thibault with a super chat. $20 super chat. Thank you. Great stream last night, Binder. Lance, yours too. Rachel, thanks for your bravery on covering the far right here in Canada. Any of you run into people holding your empathy to a higher standard than Charlie Kirk himself? Yeah, I mean, listen. It's of my opinion that I don't let anyone dictate how other people act, dictate my humanity. I think for the good of a healthy country, a healthy society, this was bad. We don't want this happening because it's not going to end up good for anyone. You can say you don't want this to happen, that this shouldn't have happened to even an individual you dislike, hate, whatever, like a Charlie Kirk, but also not like lionize or lie or create a fantasy version of the person that this happened to. Like, you don't have to mourn anyone to say also that things shouldn't have happened to them. That things shouldn't happen, period. I think those are completely legitimate things to feel dually together. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't need someone's empathy or sympathy. Who cares about that? It's the same thing where, like, when a politician shares how they personally feel on an issue, but then vote in another way entirely. I don't care about how you feel. I care about the thing that gets results. So if, God forbid, something happened to me, I don't care if an individual mourns me or sympathizes with me or says something nice about me. In fact, I don't even care if they say the worst things that they feel about me. I don't care. The point is what they do in terms of addressing what actually happened. If you're a person in power, you do something to stop that. If you're an influential person, you denounce the thing that happened in hopes that it means something to your followers, your audience, whatever. I don't need your thoughts and prayers and tears and no. That's how I feel. My beliefs, what my policy proposals, what my ideological beliefs are, would have made what happened to Charlie Kirk much less likely. By Charlie Kirk's own words, what happened to him, what his political ideology made what happened to him much more possible. He said himself, having gun deaths in this country is just the cost of having a Second Amendment, and that he's fine with those gun deaths, or he'll live with those gun deaths. And look what happened. I don't feel that way. I don't think we should, as a healthy in a healthy society, just be okay with that cost of doing business. It doesn't have to be this way. It shouldn't be this way. T-Types with a super chat. I hope this hyper focus on Kirk will have a larger effect on causing more normal people to learn about how antisocial and psychotic Kirk's worldview was. What I noticed is that, like, if a lot of people are posting how, like, oh wow, this person from high school, or this random like Instagram influencer, or a lot of people on Instagram with their Instagram stories that you may have known from high school or college, or influencers who didn't talk about politics but are posting about Charlie Kirk. A lot of them are doing these Instagram stories, mourning or lionizing him. But if you actually, I've seen a bunch of these, but if you look at a bunch of these, they're so vague. They're like, oh, Charlie Kirk was a huge influence on me. Oh, I looked up to Charlie Kirk. None of that, which is bizarre to not actually share what it is about this person, any person who you are memorializing, what exactly it is that they did for you. Like, what it is that spoke to you. What is that thing that influenced you that he said or did? What was that thing that he said or did that touched you and brought you into him and made you realize that this is someone that you followed or agreed with? None of them are saying that. It's all just very vague, which is weird to me. Why wouldn't you share exactly it is about Charlie Kirk? What was your favorite quote from him? What was your favorite idea in the marketplace of ideas that he held that you agreed with, that opened your eyes? What is it? I would love to know if that's what, how you feel. Why wouldn't you share specifics? I think we know why. T-Types another super chat. I think Kirk made too many explicitly antisocial public statements to be taken seriously by the average person, but maybe this is too hopeful. I mean, the fact of the matter is the average person has no idea who Charlie Kirk is. Seriously. We are in a bubble where even the largest podcaster or influencer or creator in our world is just not widely known by the mainstream public. Malerno with a super chat. $10 super chat. I think a lot of these unrelated institutions taking a position on Kirk is done more out of fear of looking indifferent or even approving of the assassination and getting piled on by the right. I mean, as an institution or a company or whatever, you can put out a statement saying there's no place for political violence, for killing, murder, shootings, whatever, without having to rewrite the guy's biography like some of these organs, like the Yankees. The Yankees statement was insane. Kirk founded the youth activist group Turning Point USA and had become a fixture on college campuses. Charlie Kirk, a husband and father of 2 children, was 31 years old. Kirk founded the youth activist group Turning Point USA and had become a fixture on college campuses. That's how you describe him? Give me a break. Give me a break. For Resto, the super chat, Netanyahu just said Islamic extremists killed Kirk. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, give me a break. Canadian Goose with a super chat. Hey, Rachel, Lance, and Matt. Not sure if you all know this, but Nancy May said she will be putting forth a resolution to have some memorial dedicated to Charlie Kirk in the Capitol. Yeah, that's not going to fly. And if it even passes and it's put there, I expect it to be removed in 40 years or whatever. Give me a break. Who the hell is Charlie Kirk to be put in the to have a memorial put in Congress? No memorials for anyone else, any other victim of gun violence. 180K Chan with a super chat. If Trump makes it to the end of his term and democracy stands, you think we will give blanket pardons to people who will get for free and who will have to pay? I don't know. I think whoever runs for president, the winning platform is literally, I want legal ramifications for everyone who's doing this shit. If they broke the law in some way, shape, or form, if they did something improper, I want them arrested and prosecuted. The people who are ruining the lives of these immigrants, the people who are wrongly rounding up people with valid visas and all that, I want them all prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. I want that guy in Chicago, that American citizen in Chicago boasting about joining the IDF and slaughtering unarmed civilians, Palestinian civilians in Gaza, taking out an entire family as each member of the family went out to try to collect the body of their loved one. I want that guy sent to The Hague. I want that guy arrested here and sent to The Hague. I want him prosecuted for war crimes. Tigwick with a super chat. Super cool to have you on Leftist Mafia, Rachel. Don't be a stranger. She left. But I agree. She was great. I had a good time on the show. It felt short, too. She got to come back on. Daniel Tyree with a super chat. Remigration now. Okay. 180K Chan. So Trump's doing a bunch of stuff at once, might be backfiring, turning Kirk into a martyr. Yeah, this is going to be moved on from. It's not my choice. I'm not the one pulling the strings here. It's just the fact of the matter. I'm calling it as it is. These things are now just a blip in the hourglass. These are the days of our lives. Jacqueline Leitch with a super chat. I really wanted you here. Come back soon. I think that's for Rachel. She was great. Zoe with a super chat. Matt, it's like my French lessons didn't mean shit. I'm sorry, Zoe. They didn't. Byron Joe David with a super chat. Charlie Kirk got a military escort back home, but MLK got a body bag back to the ATL, right? I mean, T-Type says, Matt, it's okay. We still love you. Matt, it's okay. We still love you. Tim Kruller with a super sticker. I don't know if that was for me. And if it's not for me, I can't see what that super sticker was, unfortunately. But thank you. T-Types with a super chat, $10 super chat. Repub kills fisherman last week is either about the bombing of that boat off the coast of Venezuela or the revelation that a boat of fishermen in North Korea was murdered by U.S. intelligence in 2019. Oh, yes, I saw both of those stories. I thought you were referring to something domestic. But yeah, those stories were insane, especially that North Korea one. Oh my God. And the Venezuela one. But that North Korea one was crazy maybe because it has been hidden for all these years. It wasn't a current event. Jeremy Elwood says, I can hate the act while also not mourning a Nazi. Right. I think that's a completely valid way to feel, 100%. I mean, I personally think that is the way to feel. Canadian Goose said with a $20 super chat. Hey, Matt, already sent the super chat to Lance. He didn't get a chance to read before signing off, but Representative Anna Paulina Luna and Nancy May said something about putting a statue of Charlie in the Capitol Rotunda. Oh, for Christ's sakes. I mean, I don't care about that, even though it's ludicrous. I don't care about a statue, even though it's fucking insane and stupid and ridiculous. Tim Cooler says Kirk coverage proves privilege, but act not right. Mm-hmm. Jeremy Elwood says, did you see how Bernie threw Brian Thompson into the discussion? Completely different scenario, Bernie. That was not politically motivated. Oh, he did? JJ saying with super chat says BB admitted he don't want a Palestinian state. I mean, not shocking at all. Did he say something new? I mean, he's been saying that pretty much. Pandora Bryn with a super chat says thoughts on the two security looking guys with Kirk making possible hand signals right before the shot. Normally would dismiss, but looked really strange. Dismiss. Absolutely dismiss. Come on. That's like tinfoil hat stuff. I mean, those security looking guys are like his security that have been with him. They're in like other videos with him. They've been his security for a while. Some of these guys. They're not making hand signals. They're like, you'll just randomly do this or something sometimes when you're out and about. You got an itch on your nose. You got a scratch on your arm. I'm not even going to say it's coincidence they did it right before it happened because you do those movements throughout your entire day, every day. It's one guy who did this. Also, if you're in on it, you're not going to stand in the potential line of fire. They're literally standing right next to him. You're not going to stand there while a sniper, an amateur sniper takes a shot. The odds he could hit you are much higher than it would be if you were literally anywhere else. And why do they have to make the hand signals? Please dismiss. Please dismiss. It's not, there's nothing to it. Kowalski with a $10 super chat. With the recent slowdown in news, you guys should think about having someone on to talk about the looming farm crisis. Hasn't been this bad since the 70s when 1/3 of farms went bust. Excuse me. Yes, that's a good idea, Kowalski. Do you know anyone? Do you have any ideas? Pirate D Strike with a super chat. I have news for you. I have people actively defending him, even if they barely know anything. Defending who? I don't know who you're talking about. Jacqueline says, great stream. Please stay safe. All left is best. Thank you, Jacqueline. Sicker Somatic with a super chat. So what do we do now? This all feels very demoralizing, Binder. I mean, it's hard to plan ahead, honestly. We just don't know what's going to happen. We just don't. I mean, we're well out of, I mean, the midterms, I guess, is the next thing to look at. That's what we could look towards, the midterms, I guess. But I just don't know. I mean, obviously, what happens with them catching this guy is going to play a role in this specific thing for sure. We just need to see how this plays out, I guess, right? then we could see what the narrative is, who this guy is, and how they spin it or how they cover it. Adonish P with a super chat. James Scoofus of New York SD42 posted on Instagram comparing the death of Charlie Kirk to that of MLK Jr. by posting Robert Kennedy's statement on Dr. King's death. Ludicrous. Absolutely fucking ludicrous. Dreadnought with a $20 super chat. First time catching it live, if a little late. I appreciate you all keeping me company on Monday mornings at work. But now I'm unemployed and going to school in 2 weeks. Any advice on degrees to help with everything going on? Oh boy, I wish I could give you like what degree to go after. I don't know. I don't have an answer for you. I mean, I look up what industries are recession proof. Look what industries are currently hiring and pushing against the current downward trends that every other industries are going under, and make the decision from that. I don't want to give you bad advice, so because I don't know. So please look into it yourself. And Dreadnought also became a YouTube member. Thank you, Dreadnought. I'm not sure if it was my channel, but doesn't matter to me. I appreciate it, and good luck with school. Ben Riley says, do you think Charlie will be okay? I mean, if you believe in the afterlife, I can't answer that because I don't believe in the afterlife. So I think he'll be okay, because I think, after you pass, what you did on this world, there's nothing that comes after. That's my belief. So you're just through with the pain and suffering of this world, and there's nothing after. That's my personal belief. So everyone will be okay after they die, because there's nothing to worry about. You're not going to hell. Nothing's going to happen to you. It's just done. Pendulous Dragon with a super chat says, please search the name Ernst Edward Wim Rath. History repeats itself. Ernst Edward Vom Rath. He was a Nazi German diplomat. He is mainly remembered for his assassination in Paris in 1938 by a Polish Jewish teenager, Herschel Greenspan, which provided a pretext for Kristallnacht, the night of the broken glass. Historians consider Kristallnacht the beginning of the Holocaust. Right. All right. Right. Hopefully not. Chris Corcoran with a super chat. Orange's face was drooping. Feels like a sign of stroke. I'm not gonna speculate on a health diagnosis, but he did not look good. You could just visually share that opinion. You could just share that opinion by the visual without having to diagnose somebody. He did not look good. And that video he put out the day before on Charlie Kirk visually was very, very weird. I had said it looked AI, like an AI avatar. It looked like an AI image, or an image edited or enhanced with AI. I don't know what they did to that video specifically. I do think they filmed something with him, but then very much used some sort of effect, whether it be AI generated effects or filters or enhancement or not. They use something, and it looks uncanny valley. That's the best way to describe it. It absolutely looks uncanny valley. Dreadnought says, were you here in the Beaver State too, right? Hey, from the 541. If so or not, thanks though. I'm super anxious. I'm not. Sorry. You're not even dropping me those super chats. You might be confusing me with someone else. But I'm not in. You think I'm Mike? Oh, is it the beard? You don't regularly tune in to Mike. I'm Matt Binder. You're watching on the Humanist Reports channel, Mike Figueredo, and because Mike's not on the show right now, and we do have similar features, you might be confusing me with Mike. And Mike's gonna get a kick out of this. So thank you for doing it. That's very cool. And funny. We and Mike have a good laugh over this one. Laughing with you, not at you, by the way. It's cute that happened. Thank you. It's a good moment. Pendulous, I don't want you to feel bad. Or it's totally fine. It's actually pretty great. Pendulous Dragon with a super chat. But yes, Mike Figueredo of the Humanist channel is from the Beaver State. He's from Oregon. Pendulous Dragon says Deep Thoughts by Jack Handy. Jeremy Elwood says legit query. Why is Colorado school ignored everywhere? From my understanding, I mean, listen, obviously Mike's beard is the superior one, Blue. It's not even close. I admit that myself. I can't grow a beard as nice as Mike's. I wish I could. He has an amazingly full beard. I don't have a beard like that. My beard's out of control, says Blue. Yes, it is out of control. Even when I trim it to get it in control, it's just a shorter beard, but still out of control. T-Types with a $10 super chat says, if an attempt on Trump's life left the news cycle as quickly as it did and didn't spur any retribution, I don't think this happening to Kirk will change the already awful state of things. Yeah, I also think Kirk dying is being killed changes things a bit. But yes, Jay Clay with a $20 super chat. Cheer up, Matt. You got a beautiful 3-month-old. You all rock. Thank you, Jay. Yeah, I mean, I've had tons of fun with my kids these past couple of months, with them being off for the summer. I got 3 kids, if you don't know. It's just been fantastic. I am rich with that, and I wouldn't trade it for all the money in the world, obviously. But what was the question that someone asked? Oh, I lost it. I was replying to somebody. Hold on. I'll find it. Oh, why is the Colorado school ignored everywhere? Well, I think it's a few factors. Obviously, Charlie Kirk's killing. He's a big figure in political circles and in the news, in media circles, so they're going to cover him. It makes it seem like he's more important. I don't think anyone is more important than anything, than any other. These all should be covered. But also, it doesn't appear that anyone in the Colorado school shooting was killed other than the shooter himself. I think that's a major factor. Also, I think the shooter in the Charlie Kirk shooting being on the lam also makes the story even more sensational too. I mean, it's an ongoing news story. It's not something that case is closed and here's the authorities coming out to explain to us what happened after their investigation. This is ongoing. We don't know how long this is going to be. Will they even catch him at all? That's why. It makes sense. I get it. It shouldn't be that way where it's not covered. It should be covered, period. But I get why at this point, why the Charlie Kirk shooting has more coverage. It makes sense. Tim Kroller says, Binder just Mike's derp state puppet. Right. I can't read other people's Twitches, but over on my Twitch, I want to thank the Surfs for the raid and Lux Progressive for the raid. Thank you so much. Everyone check out Lux Progressive. Luxe Progressive. Luxe Progressive. Lux Progressive. Thank you so much. I am now going to raid someone on Twitch. Who should I raid? Who you? Oh. I just accidentally, whoops. How do I undo that? Can I undo that? I just accidentally deleted someone's post. I did not mean to do that. I can't undo that? Whoops. You can't undo accidentally pressing something like that? That's weird. I'm gonna check it. I think you can. Hold on. I feel bad deleting someone's post. There's really no way to undo that in YouTube? Really? Shit. What? That's fucking lame. Whoops. I'm sorry. My bad. Now I feel silly. All right. Who am I gonna rate on Green Jester says heading to CH soon to visit the fam. Think it's a good idea with the potential Trump invasion. CH. Someone said Binder's a fucking moron. I am. How did I delete that? I feel horrible. I read it though. I think. All right. I'm gonna raid over on Twitch. Let's raid. Who's on? Let's see. I'm gonna raid actual Jake. Okay. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. I enjoyed the show. I thank you all for sticking around, even though it was just me for a while. Thanks for the guest coming on, Rachel. She was great. Thanks for Lance for still doing the show with me, even though no one else showed. And stay safe and sane, everyone. I will see you all real soon. I am rating actual Jake now.